I'm waiting to see if anyone leaves the room. This is a tough topic, especially for 7:30 in the morning. But the topic is really not about death. The topic is about conversation with a family. And Matt and I couldn't have planned this better if we actually planned it, which we didn't, because really this is the point. I came from a family where we had 3 taboo topics. They were sex, money, and death. And I think the reason death was a taboo topic was there was an old country superstition that said, if you don't talk about it, maybe it won't happen. Well, all of those people who raised me are dead, so I'm pretty sure that strategy doesn't work. I have worked in healthcare for 30 years. And as a matter of fact, currently, I work in hospice. I play the harp for dying people. So death is a part of my profession. I also recently, in the last 2 years, have been involved in a project where we've created an electronic registry that people can use to record their end-of-life wishes. It's called ePulsed, and I hope you'll all hear about it within the next year. It's being done through the State Department of Health, and what this is going to do is allow people who are at the end of life, who've been given 6 months to live, to record exactly what they want to have happen in terms of medical intervention. And it will also allow the emergency medical response team to know. And if you've ever worked with EMS or been in EMS, those people play God way too often, and they don't like it. So actually with a cell phone, these people can log into a website if you have registered and find out instantaneously what your wishes are. And I think this is the best invention since I don't know what. Anyway, working in death for so long, I'm pretty comfortable with it. But what I realized recently is I've never had this conversation with my family. Not in direct terms, not where I have spelled out to the people who are probably going to be there at the end making decisions for me what I want. And I'm kind of embarrassed about this because I advise other people to do this. I don't have advance directives, don't have a will. And I realize, even though I also ran a farm and death was a part of life on a daily basis, it's all been theoretical or about that person, that animal, somebody else, not about me. And so this year I intend to start the conversation with my family. And because this is such a difficult topic, I don't want to call the clan together and say, sit down, we have to talk about my death, because they'll immediately freak out and think I have a terrible disease that I'm not telling them about, and they won't listen to what I have to say. And the truth is, death is a part of life. So I think the best way to approach this, and what I'm going to do, is start just talking about my philosophy of life, my spiritual beliefs, what I think may happen, given the odds. Most of us don't die peacefully in our sleep. We get a dread disease and we spiral downward. We get time. But that's not the time to have this conversation. That's almost too late because everyone is very emotional and they're not thinking straight. It's far better to start when that event is 20, 30, 40 years away. But it's not a one-time only conversation either. It needs to be an ongoing dialogue. And I think most importantly, while I have this conversation with my loved ones, I want them to have that same conversation with me. I don't want me to stand there and lecture. I want a dialogue. And in pursuing this dialogue, truly I think we will develop a much better understanding of each other. We will develop a better connection. We will know each other better because this is a pretty deep, heavy topic. I mean, this is the end. And if we don't know each other by the end, we're never going to know each other. So I'm not going to worry too much about the paperwork. That'll come later. I really just want to start the conversation slowly, stealthily, maybe while we're cooking dinner one night, begin to say, you know, the dog's getting pretty old. I'm thinking he may not make it another winter. What do you think about that? And I'll get a response, whatever. And then I'm going to, you know, that is such a great way to start. Let's start very neutrally and take it from there. And then get into, you know, when I get that old, if I'm as crippled as he is and in pain, I don't think I'd want to just continue to survive. I know for a fact I don't want to be maintained on life support equipment indefinitely when there truly is no hope of recovery. I'll tell you the truth, nobody does. In all the pulse forms, which is what I was talking about, the registry, I haven't seen one form yet, one person say, yes, pull out all the stops and keep me going even though I have terminal cancer and there's no hope of recovery. No, nobody wants that. Most medical personnel have advanced directives and they say, no heroics. If I am truly going to die, let me go peacefully. You know, we watch ER and some of these shows, and I think our fantasy is if somebody knows CPR, they can bring us back from the brink of death. And the truth of the matter is, I think the statistic I've heard is 12% of the people who receive CPR actually get back a life, or a life that they would consider a quality life. It might bring you back, but you may not want to come back. So this is my plan for the year. By telling all of you this, I hope you hold me accountable. I'm going to pretend you're going to hold me accountable. And I really am going to start the conversation. And if anyone in here is inspired to do so, I will just be delighted.